Hello again, this is Mike Smalley, or as you know me as the Action Junkie on YouTube, and this is more of a response to Sarah's and Kaylee's videos, how I became a nerd videos. And first off, I like to say I like to refer to myself as a geek, not a nerd. But not as like saying nerd is an insult to me or geek is. I don't consider those words insults. I consider them compliments. Actually, when somebody calls me a nerd or a geek, but I like the term geek better because I've never considered myself a nerd. I've always considered myself a geek, and I've I have an argument that nerds and geeks are different, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But I'd have to say I turned a true geek when I was 10, because when I was a kid, I was always into different things. I was into Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Star Wars. My mom showed me Star Wars when I was like 5, and I have to give a lot of my geekness credit to her, because without her, I probably wouldn't be the geek that I am today. Um, but I saw Star Wars when I was 5, but then I didn't really become a geek until I was 10. That's when they re-released Star Wars Special Edition in theaters, and I saw it on a big screen, and it was really, really cool to see it. And it was also the first movie I've been to where people applauded at the end, and I never heard that in a movie before, because I've been to other movies before, and most people would just walk out, grumbling, "Oh, this movie sucks. Oh, this movie was pretty cool," but everybody applauded, and I knew from that point on these movies were something special. And ever since then, I was obsessed with a whole bunch of geek stuff. Kevin Smith movies, I really loved. I saw Dogma, then I became obsessed with his movies, and especially with the movie Mallrats. And I knew I was a geek, but I wanted to be a certain type of geek, and I saw Brody's character, and I wanted to be like him. Not a big douchey type character, but he was so obsessed with comics and Stan Lee and stuff like that. I wanted to be that obsessed with stuff. And after I saw that movie, I went to the comic book store, started my own comic collection. I got a bunch of comics in a trunk right behind me. Oh, that was not over there. That was my swords. Trunk is over there. but uh, but ever since then, I became this super geek in my school. I was never really a closet geek. I was kind of, sort of, really, because I was I really like I I didn't express myself as a geek, like, wear Jedi robes to school or anything like that, but I didn't keep it hidden either. If somebody talked to me about, comic books or Star Wars, then I, automatically joined in the conversation. And then when I changed schools to Maury, uh, um, changed school to Maury, I sort of let my geek flag fly a little bit farther, and many of my friends were, somewhat annoyed by it, but also, they knew who I was. And another way I can show how much I was a geek was, I never went to my senior prom. I went to a comic convention dressed as Wolverine, and I was happy there, because I've been to different dances already at the school, so everybody already knew me as, Mike the geek and everything. But at the comic convention at Novi Comic Con, I felt like a god there. People wanted to take pictures with me and of me. They thought how cool I was and everything. And I'm still a geek to this day. I mean, there's no changing of that of it. I got a new obsession with swords, as you see in the background. I still got a big Star Wars collection. But when I get really excited about stuff, I go on this like high, I like to call it. Like when the new Star Wars movies came out, and that just a little tidbit. I'm not one of those people that's gonna say, "Oh, I hated the Star Wars. I hated the Star Wars prequels." No, 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 no. I love them. And so when they came out, I was on a Star Wars high. When Lord of the Rings came out, I was on a Lord of the Rings high. And right now, I'm on a Highlander high because I just finally found this Highlander Search for Vengeance. I've been wanting this movie for God knows how long, and I finally found it at a movie store in Lansing for $10, and I also got season 3 of Highlander, the show, and it's really cool. And I'm proud to be a geek, and I won't be afraid to show it, even when I go into the Marines. So that's my history, and I hope more guys show off how much of a geeks they are, or nerds, whichever you prefer to use. One of these days I'll give my definition of the difference between nerds and geeks one of these days, but that's for another video, I guess, or another discussion. So, that's my response. I'm Mike Smalley, the Action Junkie. I'll see you some other time.